So, it's me, Rose, back here with a new microphone, about to drop you the second addition to my This Time I'm Triggered By. I thought it would be a bit of a longer time that it takes for me to actually make a second part to this. Hold on. Yeah, but apparently, as it turns out, the second video is today. And today, the topic that I'm just slightly, with a grain of salt in there, triggered by is Activision and their handling of this little game franchise called Call of Duty, with the latest edition of Black Ops 4 and how the new operation in that game started. So, basically, when Black Ops 4 came out, I played that shit ton. Like, I have I'd say from 2 weeks of me playing it. Yes, from 2 weeks of me playing it, I got around 20 hours. And I'd say for me, that's a lot, since I have so many games that I want to play usually. And when I get really into a game, I play it a lot, but I still play the other games on the side. So, what did they do with Black Ops 4 that triggers me now? Well, let's just say that in the first and the second operation, there was this whole thing called the Black Ops Pass. That's actually the first thing, the Black Ops Pass. You get, what was it? 14 new maps. If you pay 60 euros, you get 14 new maps, supposedly new maps. They might just add remasters of old maps, but 14 new maps in throughout the year. Or was it 12? 12 or 14 maps just given to you throughout the year if you pay the whole 60 euros. And then there's also zombie maps and blackout characters, but yada yada yada. Those are basically just, okay, the zombie maps and the multiplayer maps, those actually add something to the game. But if you're just getting blackout characters, those are basically just cosmetics, so it's not that much of a big deal. So just imagine this, you either paid 60 euros for Black Ops 4, and then later bought the Black Ops Pass for another 60 euros or 50, or alternatively you bought the digital deluxe edition of Black Ops 4 and got the Black Ops Pass through that, which fair enough. That is acceptable. Yes, you get all the maps, and yeah, it's additional content that not everyone gets, because not everyone is willing to pay 100 euros or 120 euros to get those. I personally only got the standard edition because I knew something like what just has happened in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 would happen. And what is that? Well, so Fortnite has this battle pass system where you unlock new items by playing the game, through this whole tier progression system, and that was all good. They added that in Black Ops 4, and I was actually quite happy with it. In the beginning, it actually worked out. It didn't actually sort of never work out, but there was 200 tiers in the first operation, and it would take you an hour of gameplay to get one tier, which, wait, no, it was something 2 hours or hour and a half to get one tier, which was fucking absurd, which they ended up tweaking. It's now around I would say 45 to 50 minutes of gameplay, which to me that's acceptable, sort of, because there's some 60 or 70 days in an operation that you are you play through the operation in that time, and you get as far as you get. I usually just play the operations until I get the melee weapon, if they add a new melee weapon. But yeah, so in the latest operation, the Operation Grand Heist, which name-wise was fucking astounding, and soon we realized that the Grand Heist wasn't for the players, it was the Grand Heist of all the players from Activision, because they added supply crates, and basically what those are, no, reserve crates. So in the previous operations, in the first operation, you got reserve cases throughout the tiers, and you got like one item from Blackjack's reserves, which was all fun and games. Like some people got all the items until like fucking tier 700, which just sounds fucking idiotic, because you can either play for the tiers, or alternatively, if you're a lazy piece of shit or a YouTuber or just fucking rich, you can buy the tiers. That was the first thing that sort of twisted me the wrong way, which was one of the reasons I'm not playing Black Ops 4 that much anymore. But I still play it occasionally, just when I feel like killing some time with some good old Call of Duty and I don't feel like reinstalling Black Ops 4, though that game is actually pretty good in terms of all the microtransactions, in my opinion. But yeah, Operation Grand Heist, it sounded so good. Like all the trailers and that, like they were adding tons of stuff. This was like, quote unquote, the biggest update of Black Ops 4 so far. And they added, I would say, like, if I've like understood correctly, they added 2 weapons and 1 melee weapon. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't look into it that much because I'm not that interested in Black Ops 4 anymore. But yeah, so in the second operation, was it like Absolute Zero? Yeah, it was probably named something like that. After they reduced the tiers in the tier progression to only 100 tiers, and after that you would, like, on every single tier that you get after 100, you would get a reserve case and 1 item from those, which it was a good alternative to where there would be 200 tiers and you're getting reserve cases from those, which also, if you didn't know, you can get duplicates out of those reserve cases, and after every 3rd reserve case that gives you a duplicate, they get like re-rolled into something that isn't a duplicate. It's like a guarantee, not duplicate, which I personally like that they did at least something like that. It's not like Activision would ever make it so it's like Overwatch, where you don't get duplicates if there are any items in that specific category to be gotten. Or Apex Legends, where you just don't get duplicates whatsoever. So in this new event, after tier 100, you don't get any reserve cases. You can still buy tiers after the tier 100, but you just don't get anything. You can literally right now pay for fucking nothing. Fun, right? And like, I was sort of waiting for some bullshit like this to happen. And as much as I would like to say that I'm surprised, I'm not. Because this was the fucking perfect opportunity for them to add in reserve crates. The thing that we all wanted. 1 reserve crate is worth 200 COD points. And how do you get COD points? You pay. But doesn't that sort of... Are there any reserve cases to be gotten in the supply stream? Absolutely fucking not. But they added this new system where you can earn the whole reserve cases through gameplay, but they went back to the original timestamp, which is you have to have, it's like the estimate is like 2 hours of gameplay to earn one reserve case, aka to receive one reserve item, which again can be a duplicate. Please, just someone, anyone, if you're willing to defend Activision, because I know for sure this would not have happened if the game was just being put out by Treyarch. This is like, I'm about 200% certain that this is just Activision's doing. And I'm so fucking pissed. They've been doing this shit from, I'd say from Advanced Warfare. But even then, Advanced Warfare handled it pretty well. And Advanced Warfare is still, in my opinion, one of the most fun Call of Duties out there. And if I had it on PS4, I would still probably play it, if there would be any players in it. So yeah. Operation Grand Heist of the Players. I just fucking hope that they would, like, change it to fucking something more understandable. Like, even if they made it so that they went back to the whole old supply drop system where you got like crypto keys and then with those you could open the supply drops. But if it just turns into this whole fucking play 2 hours to get one item that can be a duplicate, like, that just speaks to me as the timeline of Call of Duties being the most wanted first-person shooter genre. That just, I don't know if that's gonna be the case for that long. They're just completely fucking shitting all over the players. Like, it's so anti-consumer right now. Like, yes, if you are a YouTuber, yes, if you have money, you can get the tiers, you can get the supply crates, but fucking Christ, who is going to pay, like, for one supply crate or reserve crate? I believe it's like €1 or €2. So when you think about it like that, yeah, it's not that much. But when you think about it further, there are hundreds. Okay, maybe not hundreds, but there are a lot of items in those reserve crates, and you can get duplicates, and some of them are super rare, and you can basically, like, some of the items you'll just never end up getting unless you fucking pay a shit ton of money, which I'm not willing to do. So yeah, this has been my whole Black Ops 4 Operation Grand Heist of the Players rant. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new, and if you want to see more content like this, I'm gonna be leaving a link to Prestige Iski's video about the same topic in the description. So yeah, without further ado, peace.